Everybody, what's up? My name's Erik Hatch of Hatch Realty and Hatch Coaching, and we're talking about money today, how to make more money, and it is not as simple as you think. I'll tell you, I've always thought that you could make more money simply by selling houses, and that's not where we're going to go in this. We're going to talk about the secrets, the steps, the things you need to do, the little details that you need to know in order to make more money, and I'm excited to be with you. I'll tell you this, I've been in real estate full-time for about a decade. It has been so fun. I was a solo agent for a while, then built a team, then that came crashing down and I got kicked out of a brokerage and started over, then started my own company, and whoa, it's been a wild ride. On top of that, I think we've sold 52, almost 5,300 houses now in the last decade. So fun. This year alone, it's June 9th, 2021. As I record this, we have pended and closed over 700 transactions this year. We're just blowing records up and out, and it's been so fun. Some of you are watching live, some of you are watching a recording, but nonetheless, I am thrilled to have you here. Those of you watching live, let's make this a conversation. So please ask questions, put it in the chat box. Let me know how I can help. Those of you watching the recording, if I don't cover what it is you're hoping to cover, post your comments, and I promise you I will respond, and we can have a great conversation with that. By the way, if you haven't done so yet, please go over to hatchcoaching.com, filled with awesome freebies and giveaways and ways in which you can make some more money. All right, here we're going to go. I have three ways, one, two, three. And if you're taking notes, you're going to have three ways in which you can make more money. It's sell more, spend less, and find efficiencies. I'm giving it away. I know I'm supposed to leave these cliffhangers to the end, so you stick around, and I'm going to get you all the details of these, but I'm giving it all to you right away for free, and that is sell more, spend less, and find efficiencies, the three ways in which you can make more money. Now, I want to make sure you understand the foundation of all this. I myself personally am not motivated by money, but I am motivated by what money can do in this world. And I think that it is far better in my hands than in the hands of somebody else. I think money is like oxygen. You need it to breathe, but it's not the purpose of what we do, right? I am motivated to make enough money so I can breathe and breathe well. But that is not the reason why I do business. It's not the reason why I live. I live to make a difference and to make an impact. And money gives me opportunities in which to do so. So whatever your motivation is, it is okay to want more money so long as that money is to make a difference and to do good. If that money is for you to have nicer things, I'll tell you, nicer things won't make you happier. Your attitude of gratitude will make you happier. If you are ungrateful right now for what you have, adding more to it will not change that. So if you're hungry to make some more cash, if you're looking for some more money, again, 3 steps. Let's start with number 1. Ways to make more money is to sell more. And I want to be very clear that you need to have a target and a plan on who you're going to sell to. There are 3 buckets in which you can sell more. Please write these down if you're taking notes. PCSOI is the first bucket. Past clients and sphere of influence. Now, you heard me say a couple of moments ago that we've sold about 52 to 5,300 homes in my professional career. I have 5,200 past clients. What kind of strategy do I have for this? Because a lot of times we spend our money, our time, and our energy chasing after new business, and we're not catering to and loving on the old business. The people that already know, like, and trust us. And I think the greatest piece of what you can do is to devise a touch plan, not an automated touch plan, but a customized touch plan for your PCSOI. I recommend 12 touches a year, not a literal physical touch, but instead of figurative contact with these people that are your PCSOI, your past clients and sphere of influence. I think that quarterly, we're going to break these down, and I'm going to give you 3 categories in which to do so. The first is a phone call. Okay. I think you should contact your past clients and sphere of influence 12 times a year, and 4 times should be with a phone call. The conversation is not a sales call. It is a value give call. I see my buddy Scott is on here. If I'm to call Scott and he's a past client or somebody in my sphere of influence, I'm going to call Scott and I'm going to say, Scott, dude, I was thinking about you the other day. How's blank? And that's it. That's all I'm doing is I'm checking in with Scott, seeing how business is, seeing how life is, seeing how his house is, seeing how his family is. And one of the greatest insights into what's going on in Scott's world is I can go and check his social media. Social media is a billboard of what's happening for people, and it's a catalyst for you to take things offline. And so when you make at least 4 phone calls a year to your past clients and sphere of influence, you're simply talking about what they are doing. It's a value give. It's not a sales call. The next 4 touches, these are event-based gives. Notice all these touches are on gives if we're talking about how to sell more. I'm going to invite Scott to client events that I'm doing. I don't care if you're big or small. I don't care if you're a solopreneur or on a team. I think that doing client events are imperative. Invite people to an experience. Our 2 biggest client events are we do a Pie Day giveaway the week of Thanksgiving, and we do a date night giveaway the week of Valentine's Day. That's a free take and bake pizza, and then you get a bottle of wine, a 6-pack of beer, or a 2-liter of soda. And we get people in droves to come. And so we just invite and invite and invite. And we do this 2 to 4 times a year. And actually, we end up contacting people sometimes 5, 6, 7, 8 times in order to do it. But let's say you magically get somebody to come to the event on your first invite, and you can text them, you can call them, you can send them a customized handwritten letter. I don't care those touches, but an event allows you to touch them and contact them before, as well as contact them after. So if they come or if they don't come, you're still saying, thanks for coming, or I missed you, I wish you could have been there. You get 4 contacts that way. So 4 from phone calls, 4 from events, and then 4 touches on social media. A direct message to that person. It could be Instagram, could be Facebook, could be LinkedIn. I don't care your vehicle, but it is a way in which you tell that person, I see you, you're valued, and you matter. Because if you want to sell more houses, you need to make more people feel good. And the best CRM that you have is your Facebook page and your LinkedIn page and your Instagram. These social media are connections within people who already know, like, and trust you. And to lean on that with massive strategy is huge. So if you want to sell more, first step is PCSOI, past client sphere of influence, and a 12 minimum touch annually is the way in which you do so. The second bucket of how to sell more, first PCSOI, the second bucket is low-hanging fruit. These are portal leads. These are purchased leads. I'm talking home light leads, referrals, radio leads, Zillow, Realtor.com, Trulia, things that cost you money, things that are expensive to purchase, things that should not be a part of your longstanding plan. But if you are looking to get some quick business, this is the way in which to do so. We've studied this in great length, and from the time in which we receive a portal lead, let's use Zillow as an example, the time in which we receive a Zillow lead until it actually closes averages 180 days for us. And we have some that take 2 and 3 years to cash out. So really, I bet the median is more like 120 days. So you purchase it today, and in 4 months, it'll probably cash out. Now, please, if you want to sell more houses and make more money, this is great, but oftentimes you are spending such an arduous amount of money on these. Everything I talked about with PCSOI is basically free business. And that's one of the greatest ways to make more money is to concentrate on that first bucket. And yet don't put all your energy in this low-hanging fruit bucket. And most of you right now are putting way too much energy on the business of today and not playing the long-term game to get business for tomorrow. Business earned is so much better and so much more financially responsible than business bought. Start earning business, but low-hanging fruit is a part of the game. It is, and you have to stimulate it. You have to treat it as a way in which to go and sell more houses, but it will not make you much more money. Be very cautious on that. Third way to sell more houses in order to make more money is, again, we have PCSOI, past client sphere of influence. We have low hanging fruit. And then the third bucket that we have are with long-term nurtures. What I'm talking about specifically with these are forced registration, pay-per-click, inexpensive leads, social leads, home valuation leads, catering to farming and neighborhood with direct mail and that sort of. These are long-term strategies. We've studied our numbers in great length at Hatch Realty, and on average, from the time in which a forced registration lead on pay-per-click comes into our system until it closes is 640 days. That's almost 2 years. Now, I actually think that the bookends here of PCSOI and long-term nurtures, these two in your strategy will make you an abundance of profit, not just selling more, but making more, because the average lead over here is $5 to $15. You're going to have 100 of those leads in order to cash out on 2 or 3 or 4 of them. But it's playing a long-term strategy. And if you want to make more money, you got to stop playing this game here in the middle of this low-hanging fruit and have strategies. So I have a couple pieces that you need to note on long-term nurtures. Number one, an ISA will win the day. ISA is an inside sales agent. And an inside sales agent, this is a database manager. This is somebody who has not only put their own personal touch and savvy on these leads, but they're also automating and responding to these in great length. Your agents are concentrated on selling, or you yourself are concentrated on selling. And if you can add an ISA into your ecosystem, they will be the best to cater to these long-term nurtures. The second piece you need is you frankly need automation. It's imperative in this day and age. I think that Hatch Realty, last I checked, we have about 90,000 leads, people's data in our ecosystem. And there's no way I could even employ a dozen people to cater to all this. So instead, we have the right automation. We use Sierra Interactive as our CRM. Robbie, who is the guru of all things automation and lead conversion, he's built out some really incredible systems and messaging things where you're like getting an ISA with what Robbie's done. You're getting like 85% of an ISA, not 100%, but like 85% of an ISA simply through this automation and technology. I have a coaching client down in Texas, and she runs a team that'll do 400 to 500 deals this year, a big, powerful team. She turned on Robbie's systems through Sierra Interactive, or Hatch Messaging and Hatch Systems. And all of a sudden her agents are like, hey, I sold 3 more houses this month. Not just like one agent, but like each agent said, like, I sold 2 or 3 more houses this month because this person came to me and they raised their hand. I didn't have to chase them. The automation chased them. And then they said, I'm interested. And all they had to do was jump in and then make it happen. See, if you want to make more money, you got to start playing a professional business game and not just playing a response game. You have to be proactive through automation and through the touches that you do. So I said there's 3 ways to make more money: sell more, spend less, and find efficiencies. And we just covered sell more. Those of you watching live, if you have questions, throw them in the chat box. If you have comments, I want to hear from you, but we're going to keep on going. Number 2, you got to spend less. We are addicted to spending. We want to buy our way to the top. The coaching clients that I work with that are really struggling are those that are addicted to spending. They think that the next new thing is the way in which to buy their way up. Those that say, well, all I need is this. Like, there's this scene from the movie The Jerk, one of the greatest movies of all time, Steve Martin's first or second movie. And there's this scene from The Jerk where he's like, I don't need anything. He's like, I need this paddleball game and that's it. I don't need anything. Well, I need this ashtray and this paddleball game and this chair, and I don't need anything else. And they just keep adding stuff on. And we as realtors and business people say all the time, like, I don't need anything. I'm going to be good. And then we go and foolishly try to buy our way to the top. If you want to make more money, you got to stop spending so much damn money, period. You need to know your numbers. And here are the numbers that, oh, I just threw my pen. I got so excited. Here are the numbers that you need to know. I think that your lead generation budget should be no more than 10% of your total GCI. If you're making $500,000 a year as your gross commission, you should have no more than $50,000, 10% dedicated to lead generation. That includes an ISA's salary. Some of you may be crunching your numbers right now saying like, oh, I'm not sure I'm going to hit this. So your lead gen numbers need to be in line, and you shouldn't spend more than 10%. If it's 8%, awesome. If it's 11%, I'm not going to chastise you. But if these numbers are out of whack, you're going to be out of whack and you're going to struggle to make money. You're going to consistently be broke. The second thing I need you to monitor is what you're paying for your staff. I love hiring people. I once heard Gary Keller say, when somebody asked him the question, Gary, I have $30,000 to invest. What lead gen source should I invest in? And he said, you should invest in a who. There's a really great book that I read this year called Who, Not How. And the answer to our problems are oftentimes about a who and not about how. And so in this ecosystem, you need to not be married to overstaffing yourself. You need to red light, green light this, and your staffing expenses should not exceed 15%. So if your GCI is $500,000, your gross commission income on the top line is $500,000, 15% of that is 75 grand. Now, you may be up to 20 or 25% because you're paying yourself a salary, and you should pay yourself a salary. Frankly, my staffing for my team, to give you perspective, will be $1 million this year, but we'll be an $8 million team. And if I do some quick math here, if I go 1 divided by 8, that means that we're 12.5% of our salaries of our GCI goes to staff. And so don't exceed 15% on that, because you will have a really hard time hitting financial numbers. Spend less. You sometimes have to wear more hats when you're building and growing, and don't get addicted to spending. Final piece to pay attention to is what you're paying for your office space. Back in 2015, I started my brokerage in 2014, and we were in an awesome little space. It was 2,500 square feet, but all of a sudden we were like 25 people in 2,500 square feet. And I bought the duplex next door, and I used one of the sides of the duplex for my office. So we were breaking some laws, and we were super afraid that we were going to get caught, and we just wanted to all be in one space. And so I got super big, wide-eyed, and I'm like, I'm going to buy a monstrous building. And I bought a $2.4 million building. Our team GCI was, I think, 2.5 to 3 million at that point. I'd have to go back and check my numbers, but I think we were about, let's use 3 million as an example. Well, $3 million is a lot of GCI, but my rent turned into $240,000 a year, because I paid 20 grand a month. I own the building, right? But for me to cater to that space, I paid $20,000 a month in rent. Gang, if I take $240,000 and divide that by 3 million, I was paying 8% for rent. 8% for rent. No wonder I was struggling to make money, is because I bought it before I earned it. Woo-hoo-hoo! That may be your mistake, that you're spending your way to the top, and you got to stop spending so much. Spend less if you want to make more money. Rent should be 2%, 2% of where you're at, because we're still in that same building. We've now grown into it, and we're going to be an $8 million team this year. So if I go at 240,000 I'm paying in rent, and I divide that by 8 million, I'm now at 3%. So I'm almost in line. Almost. We want big, nice, fancy things, but then we wonder why we're not making any money. And the stress of not making money is tough. I remember when COVID hit last year. Y'all remember that. We've been there. Man, weren't we scared to death, and we wanted to cut a bunch of expenses, but now we're addicted to spending again. And we have to live frugally if we want to live abundantly. 3 ways to make more money: sell more, spend less, and find efficiencies. Paul Graves asked a great question. Let me jump in. Paul says, is there a course that lays all this out? There is. I will provide for you all in an email when you're done watching. I will provide for you a link to our free training course. It's a little sample 5-video lesson of how to build a real estate team. And it's a deep dive into these numbers. It's a deep dive into making sure that you are profiting in the right sort of way, as well as how to do great one-on-ones and how to recruit and how to hire and know all the profit numbers here. And so that is available in some free classes. And then if you want, it's just a monthly subscription. Think of it as a master class, okay? And so because it's a master class, we're giving you, I think I have 39 videos in that. Pretty awesome. You can go to hatchcoaching.com/hatch training and you'll see all those details, but I will put that here in an email for those of you watching live. If you're watching the recording and we forget to put it up there, just ask for that and we will get you that link. So thanks for that question. Sure appreciate it. 3 ways to make more money: sell more, spend less. And here is where I really want to put some emphasis on number 3. It's find efficiencies. Frankly, I think we can get by on doing the same thing and getting better results. I mean, the same thing meaning we're selling the same number of transactions. I've had the privilege of coaching people all around the country, and they've said, I need to sell more houses in order to make more money. And instead, we got their spending under control, and then we found efficiencies of things that they can be doing. And wouldn't you know it, wowie, wow, their world has changed. Here are the efficiencies. I'm going to cover 6 of them for you here. So write these down. I love these. Number 1 is you need to charge more. Now, I want to use the caveat on this, and I want to put an asterisk that just because you can doesn't mean that you should. If you don't believe that you are offering exemplary service, you cannot charge premium commissions. You just can't. Unless you're providing unbelievable, over the top, better marketing, better servicing, a better experience, you shouldn't be charging more than everybody else. But for me, from moment 1, I said, I want to be the exclusive top Rolls-Royce, Lexus, Mercedes-Benz, BMW of the real estate industry. I don't want to be the Kia Sorento. By the way, there's nothing wrong with a Kia Sorento. It's just the it's just the thing that I jumped to. So I want to charge more because I think I'm worth more and I'm delivering more. If you can't say that with confidence, you shouldn't be charging more. So you can just fall asleep for the next couple of minutes. But there's 2 ways in which to charge more. It's on the buy side or the listing side. On the buy side, if you're doing your job right, and most of you are not, you should be getting your buyers under an exclusive right to represent contract before you actually write the contract with them. Meaning you're doing a buyer consult and you're laying out the game plan, you're walking through these details, and all of a sudden, you're getting them under contract, a commitment letter. Now, I don't know about you, but in the states I represent of North Dakota and Minnesota, where we do all our business, we put in there the commission that we are intending to collect. And for us, that's 3% on the buy side. You maybe are doing this, but my guess is you're letting the co-broke dictate what you make. You can do better. You can do better. And the way that works is the co-broke is offered at 2% or 2.5%, right? You go on the MLS and you look to see what they're offering. It's like, well, shoot, this one's only paying 2%. But you're in a contract that's 3%. And it's not screwing over your client. It's saying, I'm committed to delivering you exceedingly high value. And we're agreeing from the beginning what I'm going to get paid. And so I will tell them, and this is 100% the truth, Mr. and Mrs. Buyer, I will do everything within my power to get, if there is a commission gap between what's being paid and what I'm worth, if there's a gap, I will work diligently through the contracts and the negotiations to get the other side to pay for that. And some of you are saying, like, you can't do that. And 100% you can. You put it in, and we've had lawyers review this. Please, you need to have your broker and your lawyer review this as well. But our language says this in the contract. The buyer requests, not Erik Hatch, the agent, rather the buyer requests that the seller pay an additional 0.5% or 1% in commission to cover the contractual agreement between the buyer and the buyer's broker. You're asking for an additional closing cost. That's it. or you're working on negotiating and closing costs or getting more paid. It doesn't matter, because my buyers, when they go out, they know from moment one that they're going to pay 3% for this experience. Now, we won't let them lose the deal because of it. We're dealing oftentimes with multiple offers, and sometimes you just got to find the win for them, and it's not about me getting 3%. But why would I not do my best effort right away? And why would I not strive to get what I'm worth? We've just been giving it away for free, y'all, and you're only getting paid what the other person's offering you, and you can do better. The other side is on the listing side. And frankly, the servicing, the experience, the marketing, and the money that the sellers are making with me is more than they're making with anybody else. If that's you, then this is for you. We tell our sellers from moment one, we charge 7% plus a $495 admin fee. And we'll get to the admin fee in a moment. But number one is you need to start high, right? Like, will I go down to 6%? Yeah, I will. Not because I'm just giving it away, or not because I'm greedy at the top. I know what I'm worth, and I know that my profit margins have been pinched over time because I'm committed to delivering extra marketing, and I'm committed to delivering extra servicing. And so I'm going to spend my way there, and I want to provide for them an exceedingly great value. And so we say we start at 7 plus 495. Imagine a feather falling down. If we negotiate, and we'll always negotiate if need to, we start at 7 plus 495, then we go 7 without the 495. Then we go 6.5 with, 6.5 without, 6 with, 6 without. See, I give my agents 6 points of negotiation on the listing side. A lot of us, we start at 6% and they say, no, I want to be at 5. And we just say, okay. If you practice this, if you go to our how to build a real estate team, I dive into this. If you go to our Hatch training, we also have a high producing agent module that is so good and so powerful. And we go into great length of how you can charge more on this. This one adjustment will make you a ton more money. A ton. Like, the difference between, let's do some quick math. Let's say you sell $500,000 a year, and you should be making 3% on that. Or excuse me, if you, let me do this again. If you do $500,000 a year worth of GCI at 3%, that means you're going to sell $16.6 million worth of real estate. Sell $16.6 million worth of real estate at 3%, and you will make $500,000. But if you want to make 500,000 and you're only collecting 2.5%, you got to sell $20 million in real estate. Gang, that's $3 million plus as a difference of what you have to sell to make the same amount, because you simply aren't charging more. I'd rather you get better than you get bigger. Okay, covering 6 efficiencies. I'm going to go faster now. Number 1 was charging more. Number 2 is convert more. There is something in our world called destructive abundance. Please write that down. Destructive abundance means you're probably trying to buy your way to the top, and you are frankly adding in too many lead sources and too many distractions. I did this with my team unintentionally. We had been converting our ISA appointments at about a 40% conversion rate. In 2019, I studied my numbers at great length, and I saw that we were down to 25% conversion rate because we were overfeeding them. I had agents that were getting 100 to 130 appointments set by their ISA. It wasn't manageable. It was too many people. And we are sometimes giving too many people. So the first part of converting more is you maybe actually need less. Now, shoot me a message privately. We can talk about your numbers, and we can analyze to see what you need to have for each person on your team, because it's different depending on lead source and the years served for your agent and that sort. But frankly, watching those conversion rates are super important. I have some bullet points on conversion rates that you can study besides destructive abundance. Bullet point number 1, the touch. The appointment set, and there is a touch that should happen before that appointment actually happens. I don't care if you're setting your own appointments or an ISA is setting appointments for you. Before that actual showing or before that actual appointment, there needs to be a touch point in there. A text message, a video message, a phone call, a reminder to get that person to show up. Because I've seen an industry average that from appointment set To appointment kept, that's the first conversion rate, like it's 50%, and 50% is crappy. I know a guy in New Jersey, a friend of mine, who has like a 40% show rate. Now he's selling like over 2,000 houses a year, so good on him. But what happens if he increases that one little conversion point from 40% to 50%? What happens? It's an unbelievable transformation in value and wealth, because you're buying the same amount of business, but you're getting more out of what you have. There's more juice in the squeeze. So conversion point number one, bullet point number one, is from appointment set to appointment kept. The second one is appointment kept to appointment contracted. I'm talking about getting this person under contract to list their house, or under contract to work with you, an exclusive right to represent buyer agreement. Getting that conversion point buttoned up and practice that and role play that and get better at that. We have a role playing game. I'll send you out some details on it, but if you're not practicing a lot, you can't convert more. You simply can't. We'll even give you a discount on this role playing game because you're watching this right now. We want to set you up for big wins. Now, the next piece, so we have from appointment set to appointment kept. Then we have appointment kept to under contract. Then we have the next conversion point of under contract to pending. Those steps, those nuances of how to get somebody from being a B or a C or a D buyer up to an A buyer, and those nuances of how to get those A buyers to win in this market and where you're putting your energy are super great. And then, of course, there's the final conversion piece of under contract to close. This is the transaction coordinating piece. Making sure that things aren't falling out because of a crappy inspection or because they found something. Like, that's happening, and people are canceling because you're not doing that consultation well enough. You're not educating them well enough. You want to convert more, is you got to monitor these 4 conversion bullet points on a really high level and practice. I'll give you tools in which to practice with our role-playing game. So we'll send out those details. So we're finding efficiencies here. Number 1, charge more. Number 2, convert more. Number 3, use automation. This automation is huge. I talked about what Robbie's doing, my partner in Sierra Interactive. He's also has this opportunity in Follow Up Boss too. And he has these opportunities that are starting to be created in Chime, because we're trying to make this super easy for folks. If you're a YLOPO user, we have these opportunities as well with the Hatch ISA. This is not meant to be a commercial, although I'm pitching right now. I'm convinced that automation is the way in which you can efficiently grow your business. You have a computer and you have systems that don't grow tired, and they work 24 hours a day, where your staff, you can't buy your way to the top with your staff. Instead, you need to provide automation and tools so that they can crush. Number 4 for finding efficiencies is an admin or a transaction fee. We charge $495 on every single transaction. Now, we can certainly waive it, but my team members need to pay for it. Let me break it down. On the buy side, it's $495. By the way, if somebody is using a VA loan, from what I know, you cannot charge a transaction fee on a VA loan. And so on the buy side and the sell side of that, we don't charge that. We simply call that a hero discount that we're offering to our consumer. If they're a veteran, if they qualify for that, we say, congrats, you qualify for our hero discount, and we will waive this for you. It's good juju if you sell it and spell it that way. But on the buy side, as we're going through and getting these people under contract, we explain to them, all right, $495, this is a fee that our brokerage charges, and 95% of people don't question it. Not because we're greedy, but because we care about our bottom line, and I need to have a healthy business in order to grow, and in order to serve, and in order to take great care of people. I used to be so turned off to this. I heard about it for 2 years and I thought, I shouldn't do this. But I watched my profit margin continue to shrink. And when I added the admin fee back in, my numbers started to get healthier again. Gang, we're going to sell 1,300 homes this year, and about 1,000 of those have a transaction fee on it of $495. That's almost $500,000 to my bottom line that I'm reinvesting in serving and in marketing. It's not all profit. I'm just choosing to deliver a higher level of value, and this admin fee helps me to collect on my numbers. If you're doing 50 transactions a year and you charge $495 each, that's $25,000 more to your bottom line. Such a big deal. Now, on the buy side, we have it always. On the list side, remember, I have the negotiation of 7 to 6.5 to 6, and we'll waive that fee. The only time that my agents have to pay that fee is if they can only get it at 6% and not collect the fee. Then my agents pay me a portion of that fee, not the whole fee, but they pay me a portion of that fee. So I have some great training on that again in our Hatch How to Build a Real Estate Team training module that we'll send you links for. Again, if you're watching the replay of this, hatchcoaching.com/hatch training is where you will find all this. Okay. Number 5, everything is earned, nothing is given. I see this all the time. If you have a team and you want to make more money, you think bringing on more agents is the way in which you make more money. And that is a terrible, crummy idea. I mean, in theory, it makes sense, but 2 + 2 = tomato in real estate. Adding 2 more agents doesn't mean you're going to sell 40 more houses and you're going to make all that money, because you have inefficiencies in your ecosystem. Again, number 5 is everything is earned and nothing is given. And so that means instead of having your seasoned agents, your talented people here who can convert on a consistent and regular level, don't add more people here and put them on the same level playing field. Instead, create systems through the partner model and the team agent model, things we're teaching at Hatch Coaching, where you put people under you. You're building leverage for your top agents. They're your top converters. They're the ones that should be facing these conversions. They're the ones that should be getting paid the most. And paying somebody here the same amount is financially irresponsible because they're not converting at the same level. They haven't earned that right. Pay them less. I'm always a proponent for paying people what they're worth and overpaying them. But paying somebody who's the new kid on the block the same as your seasoned agent creates a whole lot of headache and chaos, and it won't make you money. Instead, put them here. This person actually pays for some of their salary, or they pay some of the split. There's ways and nuances. We have a bunch of videos that talk about this too. Check out our YouTube channel for a lot of our showing partner videos. But this move here is such a brilliant move, because instead of creating competition for these folks, instead of creating headaches for these folks, instead of them saying, Dad has new kids, he doesn't love me as much, and now I don't have as many leads and at bats because these new people are here, and then these people leave, and then you're stuck with crappy new agents who are undertrained because you're too damn busy anyways. You put them here like this, and all of a sudden the tide rises. These people become talented and they earn a spot at the table. They earn a chance to earn more commission while these people continue to grow their business. More sphere deals for you, more conversion because they're your best converters. And then these folks can go over here. Y'all are doing it wrong. If you're doing this move, you're not going to make finances and a ton of money the way in which you want to. You just won't. This is, I hope for you, eye-opening and being like, I got to challenge this ecosystem, because real estate as a whole has been treated incorrectly and taught incorrectly. I am unveiling at our Hatch Coaching Summit in September. We'll send you details on that. I'm unveiling at our coaching summit what I think is a modification and an enhancement to the 7 levels. Gary Keller has taught an amazing class and an amazing thing in the MREA book about how to get to the 7th level of real estate, but it has holes in it. And I've realized that the holes that I didn't see have cost me literally millions of dollars. And I want to help you with this. And we're going to unveil it in Fargo in September. Our summit is so kick butt. We have a question here quickly. Paul Graves asked this: first hire for solo agents should be admin. Yes. Admin, if you're going to pay that person a $30,000 salary, should your GCI be about $200,000, keeping at that 15%? Yeah, I think that it makes sense to hire an admin when you hit about 36 transactions or about 200,000 in GCI. We all have different sales prices and that sort, but if you can get to 200,000 in GCI, you can afford the salary of an admin. So I think that your first hire is this, admin. Second hire is actually admin as well. The first one takes things off your plate. The second one helps you to grow on your honey-do list that you haven't been getting to. Admin, hire 1 and hire 2. That means you need to know your numbers, and you got to make sure that you have at least 400,000 in GCI in order to pay these salaries. Can you pay 20% for a little while? Sure you can, but it's irresponsible to do that long term. Then the third hire, the best one, is a showing partner, and a showing partner is on salary. I love paying them a salary and not on your GCI. Paul says he's at the 200,000 right now, but he's scared to make his first admin hire. Paul, my man, don't sleep on it. Don't wait. If you need that admin right now, you're already 6 months behind, dude. You can't grow until you get leverage. And the best kind of leverage is taking all that $15 an hour work off your plate. Paul, follow our hiring steps within Hatch Coaching. Buy our Hatch training bundle. I'm not trying to sell you something, but I got all your answers there of who to hire, how to train, how to develop. We can take a lot of that off your plate, and you can go and sell some more houses. You're not spending $30,000 on somebody. You're spending $2,500 a month. You can afford $2,500 a month if you're making $200,000 a year. So be good with your numbers. Go and make it rain. I have 6 efficiencies we're covering. We're on number 6. 1, charge more. 2, convert more. 3, use automation. 4, admin fee. 5, everything is earned, nothing is given. And number 6, my final piece here before we're going to wrap. And if you have questions, please hit them on me and with me, throw them at me, and I can get to them here in the next couple of minutes. But number 6 are vendor dollars. Yeah, getting somebody else to pay for some of your crap. I have great relationships with my title company and my inspector and my insurance company and my mortgage lender. These are people we send a ton of business to. And what they can't do is they can't give me any kickbacks. Business doesn't work that way. Huge RESPA violations. What they can do is they can co-market with us. They can buy leads and chase the same leads. I think Zillow allows you to, a lender can spend up to 50%. So if you're spending $5,000 a month with Zillow, that lender can spend $2,500. And if you're suave and savvy about it, you can throw some of those client events I talked about to cater to your PCSOI. And you can get all that paid for. You can share office space with people. You can share marketing expenses. You can't just get cash for giving them business. But I'm unafraid of saying to somebody, I have big goals. Can you help me get to my goals? Here's how we can do it. Now, please talk with your broker. Please make sure you're following the steps. But just with my relationship I have with title, I cover a couple of salaries of staff members. We're sharing office space and we're doing marketing together. And it's pretty awesome because I get them a ton of business and we just have a great relationship. We're doing everything on the up and up. Nothing is illegal about what we're doing, but we're sharing in some expenses because we're growing businesses together. It's pretty great. In fact, I've grown and maturated so much that I opened up my own mortgage company because I saw how much opportunity there was for us to do things together. So if you want to open up your own mortgage or your own insurance, I have some cool relationships for you. If you want to go and talk to your preferred vendors, again, the 4 that I get cash from is my mortgage lender, my home inspector, my title company, and my insurance agent. A lot of ways to make more money, gang. Just a matter of what you're going to try to do. So with that, we're going to go and end before the hour is up. That's always nice to not do an hour long. Everybody can go to the bathroom and run before you have your next thing. Has this been helpful? Have you gotten anything out of it? Throw a comment in here so I can hear and see. Hopefully you have your biggest takeaway. Give me your biggest takeaway so I know what rang true, what was some great value. If you're watching the recording of this on YouTube, thanks for doing that. Post what a big takeaway has been for you. I'm going to stop the recording, but I want to hear from you what has been good so I can continue to grow and develop as a presenter. Otherwise, I'll email you a bunch of stuff. God bless you. Have a beautiful day, and hopefully we'll see you in Fargo in September.